How about we call meeting to order? We stand and salute the flag. I think it's Dominic's turn.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe.
What's Robin here?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you stand for a moment of silence? Our clerk of the board is not here tonight because she broke her foot today. So be patient when you make comments and stuff so Cheryl can keep track. And also Cheryl just said to me, what were you doing last year at this time on this Tuesday? I was standing in Burtonsville counting heads. Everybody remembers what week this is. Roll call.
Supervisor Grieco.
Here.
Supervisor Stark.
Here.
Supervisor Barone. Supervisor Wheeler.
Here.
Supervisor Chaira.
Here.
Supervisor Demeza. Supervisor Allen.
Here.
Chairman Walters.
Here.
Supervisor Strebe.
Here.
Supervisor Coddington.
Here.
Supervisor Quackenbush. Supervisor Rishkowski.
Here.
Supervisor Sweet. Supervisor Thayer.
Here.
Supervisor Stagliano.
Here. All right. I need a motion to suspend the rules in a second. We have a resolution that needs to be put on. It's an emergency through data processing. Yep, Mark. And Greg.
B180.
It's resolution 180. Should be a copy in front of you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Made it through one. All right. I'm going to open the floor to public comment. If anybody has a comment, please just give your name. Hearing none, we'll move on. Approval of minutes of the previous meeting. Need a sponsor? Ron, need a second? Madam Chair. All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor. Approval of budgetary transfers. Need a sponsor in a second? Herbie and Bart. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Give it right on. We don't have any unfinished business. So right on to new business. Resolution number 165. Resolution authorizing chairman to sign grant application, snowmobile trails, grant and aid application. Sponsored by Quackenbush, second by Coddington. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolution number 166. You okay?
Yep.
Resolution authorizing chairman to sign agreement, Mohawk Valley Snowmobile Club, Incorporated Snowmobile Trail Maintenance. Sponsored by Quackenbush, second by Stark. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 167. Resolution authorizing chairman to sign agreement, job access reverse commute, Montgomery County Bus Transportation System. Sponsored by Quackenbush, second by Grieco. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 168. Resolution authorizing chairman to sign renewal agreement, New York State Unified Court System. Sponsored by Sweet, second by Stark. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Resolution number 169. Resolution amending 2012 operating budget. Sponsored by Thayer, second by Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? All right. Resolution number 170. Resolution amending 2012 operating budget public health. Sponsored by Redzikowski, second by Wheeler. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Resolution number 171. Resolution authorizing chairman to sign agreement for provision of data processing services, City of Amsterdam. Sponsored by Thayer, second by Quackenbush. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Still hanging in there. Resolution number 172. Resolution amending 2012 operating budget medical fees. Sponsored by Thayer, second by Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Tom. Abstained. Resolution 173, resolution amending 2012 operating budget and accepting grant fund, sponsored by Redzikowski, second by Gutierrez. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Resolution number 174, resolution authorizing Montgomery County's Medicaid Statement of Interest, Department of Social Services, sponsored by Redzikowski, second by Wheeler. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Resolution number 175, resolution to create head social service welfare examiner position, sponsored by Redzikowski, second by Walters. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? John? Donna? Abstained? Resolution number 176, resolution to amend 2012 budget to change title of vacant position. Sponsored by Redzikowski, second by Coddington. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? See them all?
Shiner.
Yep. Resolution number 177, resolution authorizing chairman to enter an agreement, grass and brush mowing. There's a typo here. Sponsored by Walter, second by Sarah. The typo is in the further resolved. It actually is 2013 and 14. Just a typo with the dates. It should be 2013 and 2014.
What's the rate? What's the
We
rate?
need to put a number, we need an amendment with a rate. Which is
Same rate?
Same rate,
Same rate, put it in, same rate.
350.
2 years.
I'll second that if that's a motion to put
It
350
is.
in.
It's a motion to put it in. So I got Ron, Bill second. Discussion on the amendment. Butch?
I thought we were going to make some kind of an arrangement and lower the rate. And I'd just like to know if that's still an option. If not, I'd like to lower it. And looking at me, remember I said I was going to bring this up and we talked about it? So
You
You
bring it
think
up?
you get the same rate?
I don't want the same rate. I
Well,
want
they
to lower
control the vote. Are you kidding me?
Right,
or what?
it's extended for 2 years when it was 1 before.
It's mowing in. So,
Make a
You know,
I want to make a motion that
Yeah, that's fine.
We got one
reduce
amendment
it.
first. So your amendment's gonna be, yeah, I know, I just wanna make sure we're clear. We already have the one amendment for 350, so yours is
To reduce it by 10%.
to reduce it by $35?
$35
10%.
times...
10%.
Yeah,
So the motion, the rate is $350 per mile, so you wanna reduce it by $35.
yeah.
I'll second.
Yeah, 315. The blank would be 315 for the second amendment. Barb second. We do the second one first. Discussion on the second amendment. Hearing none, all in favor on the second amendment?
Roll call?
Which we did, we'll roll call.
Discussion on that?
I didn't see your hand. Yeah, discussion. Before we vote.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing that, except for the simple fact that the town of Amsterdam has purchased 2 new lawnmowers over the past couple of years, and those lawnmowers are about $75,000 a piece. It'd take me a long time to make up $350 a linear mile, when there's only 40 miles of county road and 24 miles of town road. So most of our mowing is done on county roads. And like I said, $150,000, it's gonna be a while before I make that up on this $350 rate. Not to include the labor costs and the maintenance costs. I mean, just our arm mower, to go fix that thing this past, I think within the past 6 months, it was $5,000 for blades. I mean, it's too expensive to not be able to get reimbursed, at least for some of the mowing that we do for the county roads. So I don't disagree with you, Butch. I know we're in some tight fiscal constraints here, but again, you know, the towns that thinks are suffering from the equipment and the purchases that they have to endure to get this job done. And I know that's one of my pet peeves, basically, is to keep the roads looking nice in the town of Amsterdam, and they do. So I can't agree with the amendment.
All set down. Anybody else discussion? Great.
Chair, I'll just say that, last year we spent 17 cents less per gallon for fuel from last year to this year. Who's to say what it's going to be, next summer, or even, it could be a lot worse. So, I mean, the fuel cost itself is quite expensive. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Butch?
What about the lack of snow and the part where you didn't have to use as much sand, you
This
didn't
is
have
the
to use as much?
This is the mowing contract.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait till we get to the other one. Okay, I'll wait for the other one.
Yeah.
We should put them both in one.
The $3.50 a mile is, I don't think is an unreasonable price, but I am going to question why we're going to approve a 2-year contract when we don't know from year to year what our budgets are going to be and lock ourselves in. I mean, I don't mind the $3.50 on the mowing contract. I think there needs to be some discussion on the next one, but, a 2-year contract at these times, I can't see locking ourselves in.
All set? Tom?
We can adopt it at whatever price you want. Pick a card, any card. You have 10 towns, 10 town boards that are going to approve whether it be snow or mowing. And I just want to ask, if I could ask Paul, what is your backup plan, or would be, if a town rejected, whether it's this proposal, snow and ice, whatever, what would your backup plan be? Because you would have to, obviously for liability purposes, make sure those shoulders are mowed and those corners are cut down for visibility purposes. We've already had a lawsuit or two, I believe, in the past over that. Do we have the machinery or capability to do it?
We don't, and probably just talking off the top of my head, probably the first step would be, if one town opted not to, would be to contact the adjoining towns to see if they would enter into a contract to mow those
And
months.
I'm not going to ask you the same question, but I think it's the same answer for the next resolution.
Yeah, we're not equipped at this point
For either.
to do it.
That's all.
All set? I got it, Butch again.
Listen, I'm not going to get into a pissing contest, but there isn't a town that is going to refuse this thing for 10% or even 20%. They're not going to refuse it. My comment.
All set? Anybody else? Roll call. On
Supervisor
Second
Grieco.
Amendment at
Second
3:15.
Amendment.
Right, 3:15.
No. Supervisor Grieco.
Yes.
Supervisor Stark.
Yes.
Supervisor Barone.
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler.
Yes.
10-5.
Supervisor Tyra.
Aye.
Supervisor DeMeza.
No.
Supervisor Allen.
No.
Chairman Walters.
No.
No.
Supervisor Strebe. Supervisor Coddington.
No.
Supervisor Quackenbush.
No.
Supervisor Rishkowski.
No.
Supervisor Sweet.
No.
Supervisor Thayer. Supervisor Stagliano.
Let me clarify something. You've all seen, you're seeing numbers that show some savings on contractuals to the towns. And so if you don't do something, you're going to make up another minor $100,000 issue. So you have to do something. I would have moved the table, this one and the next one. But no.
Okay. On the First Amendment, which is 350, discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to move to table this.
You have a second table? Butch? On the table, roll call.
Wait a minute.
96.
Who sponsored the table?
It's
Dominic.
Dominic and Grieco.
It's premature to deal with this and the next one.
Supervisor Stagliano.
Yes.
Supervisor Grieco.
Yes.
Supervisor Stark.
Yes.
Supervisor Barone.
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler.
Yes.
Supervisor Chayera. Supervisor DeMeza.
No.
Supervisor Allen.
No.
Chairman Walters.
No.
Supervisor Strebe.
No.
Supervisor Coddington.
No.
Supervisor Quackenbush.
No.
Supervisor Rishkowski.
No.
Supervisor Sweet.
No.
Supervisor Thayer.
Yes.
Spoiler.
I can't tell if it passed. There's no
Well,
thing that shows.
854 on top. Okay.
Oh, it failed.
1014
Okay,
failed.
it failed.
Yeah, it failed. First Amendment, to insert $350. Discussion. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I'm just gonna throw this, we're talking about the amendment, so I
Yep.
guess this fits, but when it comes to tabling and moving it off another month or two, we have town budgets to put together. I'm starting mine right now. I'm not gonna table this one or the next one.
County budget.
Huh?
You all set, Tom?
I said we done
I got Butch.
I think this is where the people should know why they should vote for this charter and have a legislative body that thinks strictly for the county. So I'm gonna let it go at that. Okay, so you guys gotta put your county hat on, not the town hat on. The county is in trouble right now, and any penny that we can get, I think we should get it. So
I would agree.
on this one and on the next one too, when it comes to the snow.
Brian, did you just have your hand? Hang on, let me write it all down. I got it right over here. Okay, I got Dominic next. He's on Butch.
Yeah, as far as town budgets go, I think the starting date is September 20th. And adoption isn't until November 20th, so we have plenty of time. But you're gonna see the results of the county budget shortly. And the thing is, I don't wanna hear the towns come back and say that we're losing services. I definitely don't wanna hear that one. So, I'm giving you the option. Table these until you see the other numbers. Don't make a decision in the vacuum. That's it. Thank you,
All
Chair.
set? I got Tom Quackenbush.
Well, I'll just comment on Supervisor Greco's charter versus town, put your town hat away and county hat on. Even if there was a legislature here now, it takes two people to enter into a contract. Again, you still have to go back to the towns and ask them, are you gonna sign this contract? And again, they'll say yes or no. To Butch's point earlier, none of them would say no, I would debate that, I think they would. But depending on what it was, but it doesn't really matter whether got a county hat or a town hat at that point, because you still gotta deal with another body, and that's the town board, because this charter is not gonna do away with town business.
All set? You got John?
Okay. We all know we have a budget problem, that we're short. We're short all $3 million. And I can understand the need to try to take back from the towns, take back from the city. The brush and weed contract is not the contract to do it with. And I've already said in the past, I'm willing to work with the snow contract to take a little bit less. That's my town. I'm only speaking for the town of Blue. So I've already made that statement. But what you need to remember, Supervisor Greco, is that in the charter, 6 of those 9 legislators are going to live in towns. So when it comes time to start talking about contracts with the towns, looks like you're all voted 6-3 on that one. So, you know, we're here to do the business of the county. Some of us wear 2 hats. Some of us wear more than 2 hats. What we have before us is a $3 billion shortfall. That's what we have before us. Now, I'm going to call for a budget workshop for Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. We're ready to go. But we are not going to solve it with this contract. I agreed with Supervisor Stagliano's tabling this for another month isn't going to hurt anything. That's mine. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Brian?
Well, I've made this point before where, you know,
yes, we're here as a county representative, but it's still the same pot of money that you're spreading around. If you take it from the town and give it to the county, then the town has to raise it. It's just the same amount of money that's being pushed around, and I think we need to get our spending in order, rather than just push it from one side to the other. Thank you.
What's that? I got Tom.
Yeah, we haven't seen an increase on either one of these in a couple of years, so, this being said, the expenses don't go down. Again, on the snow side, I have over $1 million worth of equipment out there running the roads to plow 60 miles of roads. And then I have the 6 laborers, and each truck, you gotta hire winter help, you gotta put a wingman in each truck. So it gets to be expensive. If Paul can do it for $5,000 a mile, $5,050 a mile, take it over. Buy the trucks, put men in them. You're gonna have to hire a ton of people to run those trucks. If the county can't do it, this is the alternative. And I think it's less expensive to do it this way than it would to buy a fleet of trucks and to try and do it on your own. It's not easy, and you said it was an easy winter last year. But the thing is, the towns have a contract that they have to take 75% of their salt order. They just can't take, because they didn't use the salt, we still had to take 75% of our salt order. So we couldn't take less than that. That's just the way the bid is worked out. So we have salt, we had a stockpile, of course, we'll have some for the upcoming winter, but even so, it was still costly. The fuel, every time you had a little bit of ice, half an inch of ice, the trucks are out there running fuel every time. And the salt, the sand, everything remains the same. I know we didn't have a lot of snow built up, but our trucks went out just as many times just to clear the ice off the road in early morning hours. They were out there quite a bit. So I can't take any less in our town. I'm operating on a shoestring right now, so, and it's very expensive to run these, the machinery that I have.
All set?
All set.
Yep.
I just wondered, again, the $350 a mile for the mowing contract, I don't really have a big issue with, but I do have an issue with 2-year contracts. I would make a motion that we compromise and award the contract for a year.
Is that an amendment?
Yes.
We're discussing the first amendment.
Have a second.
Yeah, we can add the amendment. I need a second. I need a second on the amendment. Yeah, whoever you saw.
Whoever.
I still have Ron on the first.
Just a quick note, if we had smart legislators years ago, they would have kept all 100% of the county sales tax of the county. We wouldn't be deliberating all this bullshit today. Thank you.
Discussion on the amendment for the year. Discussion? Larry?
Yeah, for the 2-year contract, now it's a double-edged sword, I guess we all probably realize that, but there's a possibility that after 1 year, the following year, diesel bill has gone up to $5 an hour, and you can't do it anymore. By doing a 2-year contract, you're locking in that, kind of like locking in the price of fuel. You're taking it, it's like rolling the dice, but you're locking in the price of fuel, right? You're locking in the price of mowing for 2 years. That, like I said, can be a double-edged sword, so it's something to think about.
All set?
Yep.
Anybody else? Tom?
Several months, maybe 6 months ago, I don't know, I brought it up with Paul. Let's really attack this problem. And that is the amount of county roads that we have that really, probably, some of them should not be county roads. And I said, we're all acting like we want to, do something here. If the towns could take back whatever the number is, obviously it's proportionate according to the size of what, I'm the large, I think I have more roads in my town, more county roads in my town than anybody. And some of these county roads, all their driveways. They should have never been county roads. We need to take those, if it's just a few miles off of that 400 miles, that's where your real savings is going to be over time. And it doesn't have to be done all at once and all in the same year, but it needs to be done as a concerted effort by everyone. It can't just be, oh, this town's gonna take 15 miles and nobody else is gonna take any. I mean, I actually targeted the roads in Minden with Paul and with my highway superintendent that I thought could possibly be taken back by the town of Minden over time.
What's that?
Yes.
Just on that point, we had the second meeting over this transportation survey and highway survey today, and one of the points is that just about the roads and roads that could be reclaimed or taken back, but even that still is a slow process. You couldn't do the contract and give the roads back. It's going to be a slow process, but that is part of what that survey is. It was paid for with the grant money. Anybody else discussion on the amendments to drop the year? All right, hearing none. On the amendment to reduce it to 1 year, roll call.
Supervisor Stark.
Aye.
Supervisor Barone.
Aye.
Supervisor Wheeler.
Yes.
Supervisor Chaira.
No.
Supervisor DeMeza.
No.
Supervisor Allen.
No.
Chairman Walters.
No.
Supervisor Strebe.
No.
Supervisor Coddington.
No.
Supervisor Quackenbush.
No.
Supervisor Richkowski.
No.
Supervisor Sweet.
No.
Supervisor Thayer.
Yes.
Supervisor Stagliano.
Yes.
Supervisor Grieco.
Yes.
Failed.
Okay, we already discussed the other one. On the amendment, we didn't do that. We didn't do vote. On the vote for 350, roll call.
Chair,
Yeah.
is this for the amendment for the?
The amendment for the 350,
Yes.
It's Barone and Strebe.
Mhm.
Supervisor Barone.
No.
Supervisor Wheeler.
No.
Supervisor Chaira.
No.
Supervisor DeMeza.
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Yes.
Chairman Walters.
Yes.
Supervisor Strebe.
Aye.
Supervisor Coddington.
Yes.
Supervisor Quackenbush.
Yes.
Supervisor Richkowski.
Yes.
Supervisor Sweet.
Yes.
Supervisor Thayer.
Yes.
Supervisor Stagliano.
No.
Supervisor Grieco.
No.
Supervisor Stark.
No.
Passed.
On the resolution as amended, we did discuss it. Roll call.
That was it, wasn't it?
No, that was the insertion number. And we did the resolution as amended.
Amendment in it.
No.
No, it was blank.
On the resolution as amended with 350.
Chairman Walters.
Yes.
Supervisor Strebe.
Yes.
Supervisor Coddington.
Yes.
Supervisor Quackenbush.
Yes.
Supervisor Richkowski.
Yes.
Supervisor Sweet.
Yep.
Supervisor Thayer.
Yes.
Supervisor Stagliano.
Yes.
Supervisor Grieco.
No.
Supervisor Stark.
No.
Supervisor Barone.
No.
Supervisor Wheeler.
No.
Supervisor Chaira.
No.
Supervisor DeMeza.
Yes.
Supervisor Allen.
Yes.
Passed.
Resolution 178, resolution authorizing chairman to enter into agreements snow and ice control, sponsored by myself, seconded by Thayer. I do need to apologize to Supervisor Chaira. I did tell him I would give him the information and I totally forgot. And I do have it.
question.
$2,233,000.
I actually saw Tom first, we need an amendment.
I was going to offer an amendment to insert the amount of, I believe it's $5,250
Right,
per mile.
Second.
Bill Strebe, second.
I'd like to make an amendment.
Have a second amendment?
No, not an amendment. I
A
have a
second amendment.
Yeah, I'd like to bring it down to $2,300 mile.
Is that the number again?
2,300 miles. $2,300.
Where'd you pick that number?
I just picked it up. Go down anyway. Hell, I just thought I had a little.
Do I have a second on that amendment? I'll get one, you want?
I'll second.
See?
Oh, my.
All right, discussion on,
I
Discussion on second amendment. We can only do two at a time.
I had discussion. At the meeting I brought up, you said you were gonna get it, but you were gonna get it for your town.
Yeah, I did.
This is for everybody. Is it all been factored in? Is it an algebraic formula? Is there something where you can show me where 5250 come from? And could it be, as I said, could it be 4960? Where did this number come from? When you do the budget, Mr. Thayer gave us an analysis, there's numbers. They come from somewhere. They affect the tax rates. 5250. Give me the reasoning behind 5250
I can only.
for everybody.
I can answer three parts of that. There was two highway superintendents besides myself off of my town that also had done the same thing. And all our figures were close in the mileage, but I'm not gonna tell you the dollar amount because I don't have it in front of me, that would be totally wrong. But at the time we did that and we raised it up, that question was brought up and we did do it. And town of Mohawk was one, town of Charleston was one, and I believe town of Florida was the third. But
Ronnie did it.
Was it? Oh, was yours? I know there was.
Maybe Bill.
I knew there was three actual on number on paper on what the cost per mile actually ran out to, which was more than 55. We all had averaged different snowstorms. And it actually came out to more than that by averaging the snowstorm. But again, I totally forgot to get it.
Let me continue. We heard that these haven't changed. What was it before the 5250? Does
30.
anybody know?
3100.
30, way out 30.
And then it went from 31 to 5250, just
Why
like
did y'all-
It
that?
had been in the 3,000 range for a lot of years.
Was there a reason?
Yeah. No, it had been the same rate for a long, long time.
Yeah, but where's the reason? Why didn't it just go up so much percent? Why did it go up there? Again, I gotta ask the question.
Again.
When you do these budgets,
had
there's
the votes.
numbers. Where do they come from?
The
It had
numbers,
the votes.
Well, that's what goes on. You have the votes. You don't decide that you're dealing with.
there was more, we try not to start bantering back and forth.
Okay, then maybe that is the best answer, what's going on.
Before we start bantering back and forth, there is a reason.
I'm listening, I know
The
exactly
dollar
what
rate,
goes
the
on.
dollar rate had been the same for years. And when the discussion came up, and the two towns that I remember that actually did the numbers, and myself did the numbers, it was because we were looking for an increase. The dollar rate per mile was so low compared to what the actual cost was, because it hadn't been changed in years. It had gone up by little tiny increments in years,
8 years.
long before my time. And that was why there was a big jump, was to try to catch us up. I don't know if that answers your question.
No,
or
it
not.
doesn't.
You all set? I didn't see who else, there was another hand up first before Jeff. Was it you, Tom?
It was 8 years without, but also,
Jeff?
it was
Larry, did you-
at the request of Supervisor Schulman to have some information gathered and given to her. After that information was gathered, not by me, but my highway superintendent, Bill's, I don't know, I know Bill Hallman
Bill Holman
was one.
and myself.
And after that, that's when the board agreed, and, you know, obviously, I just told you it was because it was the votes, and there was the votes. But it was, I mean, you'd have to go back and look, but I don't think there was much of an argument. I think everybody agreed that it needed to go up.
I showed you right here to say almost $1.5 million instead of $900,000.
All set, Tom?
$2.1 million, $920,000.
I got Jeff next. It is a contracted service. That's one thing important here. It is a contracted service between the county and the town. For us to do a job, a contracted job, we don't argue about other contracts anywhere near as much as we do about this one contract
For
to
2 years.
maintain the health and safety of the people in the county. Jeff, you next.
Okay. It was $3,200 or $3,300 for years, and he's got by on it. What really happened is, we took a look at it, nobody raised it for a while, we had a big surplus, and we voted to give away the money. All right? So, you know, I think that maybe we need to at least look at and have some figures from each town. You know, even if we adjust it by $100, that's $40,000. That's a lot of money when you don't have any money. So rather than make it a motion to drop it to 2,300 that's going to fail, why don't we like at least compromise, see if we can table it for this month, gather some figures and see if we can compromise on a number for next month. It's not going to affect the town budget yet. I mean, isn't that the logical thing to do if we're going to really do county business? And if it turns out that it's, what is it, 5250? per mile?
5,250.
If it turns out that after everybody reevaluates it, and it's 5,250, I'll vote for it. But, you know, we picked this number out of thin air. This is just out of, I'm just taking your word.
Did you make a motion to table?
You can't, we need to.
I can't, there's two.
No, you can make a motion to table. Did you made a motion to table?
I would make a motion to table.
That's right.
On the motion to table, roll call.
Supervisor Stark.
Yes.
Supervisor Barone.
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler.
Yes.
Supervisor Chaira.
Yes.
Supervisor Demeza.
No.
Supervisor Allen.
No.
Chairman Walters. Supervisor Strebe.
No.
Supervisor Coddington.
No.
Supervisor Quackenbush.
No.
Supervisor Rishkowski.
No.
Supervisor Sweet.
No.
Supervisor Thayer.
Yes.
Supervisor Quackenbush. I'm sorry, Stagliano.
Yes.
Supervisor Grieco.
Yes.
Failed.
All right, we're discussion on the second amendment. Oh, wait, but we were still, okay, it was up to
I
Larry.
remember what it is.
It was up to Larry.
I think we're looking at, we keep talking about the town supplying figures. I think you're looking for the wrong people to supply your figures. I think you have to say, we asked Paul, what does it cost if the county does it for a year per mile, number one, and number two, if that doesn't work, what does it cost to hire a private contractor to come and plow those roads all year? So that's the question I think we should be asking, not so much what the cost of the town. I mean, I don't think the towns are out here trying to steal money from anybody. I think they're just trying to cover their expenses. And secondly, if I was a county legislator sitting here, I'd be beating the drum the same way I was 25 years ago. As Tom says, for the towns take over a lot of county roads. That's all I've got to say.
I've got Bill next.
Thanks, Sheriff. My thoughts are right along the same lines as Larry. I mean, if the county comes up with a price that they're willing to pay to have the roads plowed, have Paul break it down for materials, lubricants, and fuel, and equipment, and have it presented to the town boards and see if it flies. You get your answer in a hurry. If the town boards say no, then you get to try out your own way of doing business.
All set? Good, John.